This week, someone in the Daredevil group from Qlik asked, can we use Qlik for metadata management? And yes, you can. The answer is very simple. And today I want to show you two examples how you can do it and also talk about why it makes sense to do this in Qlik. So the first reason, of course, is you already usually have the data there, right? Qlik makes it very simple to do data integration, to get all the data from all the different sources. And with a little extension, you can also write back to those sources, like your ERP system, for example. For us, we used to spend a lot of time and money on ERP individualization, customization, and first, it takes a lot of time. Second, it's very expensive. And third, for every update, you usually have to pay extra on top. So we changed that way. And one of those results was this little app that we used a lot during COVID, where you can see all the articles that we have. And when it comes to user interface, you can search for all the articles, either the numbers or the descriptions of the articles, to make your life very simple as a user. So you don't need to be trained on a master data management tool, but any person can use this, whether on the shop floor or in the office. And then you can just integrate little buttons to make sure you write back the recalculated lead times. So in this case, during COVID, we had lots of change, how long it took to procure an article that we needed for our production. So we used Qlik Predict to predict how long it would take for us to procure this part. And then you can simply, with one click of a button, take this new data into your ERP in this case. So we use a Microsoft ERP, which makes it very easy to write back data from Qlik back to the ERP. Of course, for you, it depends which tool do you have and how simple is it to access that API. Happy to have a look with you together to get this up and running. And then the second project I want to share with you is one that we have recently completed together with our customer Logistics Plus. And we showed this also in Orlando at Qlik Connect. And for this, we have asked Claude to help us out a bit. So let me set up the Qlik app on the left side and Claude on the right side. You can see we have created a little project inside of Claude where, for example, you can tell it what to do, which is very important to create a nice workflow for your colleagues and also to save on tokens. And on the left, you can see the app from Logistics Plus that they have created for their customer. And you can see they had the need to correct manual inputs here. You can see for Arlington Valley, there are like 7-8 different descriptions of how you can write that. And we often see that when people manually write data in some part of the process. And then you want to fill out some address information, contact information as well. So now let's ask Claude to do this for us. So the first iteration of this app was just manual. So manually you could correct the project names to make sure you had consistency throughout all other processes that followed. And now let's ask Claude, please fill out the missing aliases. And now you can follow the structured path that you have created for your users. So first it will access Qlik MCP to understand the data currently in the data model. And then in the second step, we will use our Data Plus MCP to write back data to the Postgres server that will then update the data model in Qlik as well. All right, so here you can see Qlik MCP being used. Now we're fetching the Data Plus table. And of course, this example is very, very simple. Usually, like you can see here, we have 201 project names. What we see in actual projects like the one for Logistics Plus as well. You have very large tables that you want to fill out. So of course, it takes a bit of time to first set this up, but then you can save a lot of time by having all the data written back correctly automatically. All right, and now we get an overview, what is missing. And we can see 5 entries require action. Now we get a nice little table inside of Claude to see what the original project name is and what the suggested alias is. And now Claude will ask us for feedback. What should we do? So you can prepare this to give the user a bit of guidance. Now we can say, please write all suggestions as is. And now let's watch the data plus table on the left side inside of our Qlik app, where we will have a bulk edit. And there you see, in this case, it was only 5 entries. Of course, if you have hundreds of entries, then it is much more meaningful than this example. And we can also have another follow-up action. You can see on the left side in the Qlik app, we're missing all the contact information, even though we have it somewhere in our systems. So now let's enrich the missing addresses from, for example, our CRM system, maybe. And then we can add this here as well. And you can see this is getting a bit more interesting already because we have several columns that we want to fill in. Now Claude found the fetching, the matching addresses. All right, that looks pretty good. And now again, it is asking for confirmation to make sure we're not writing anything that is not appropriate. Now when we watch the Qlik app on the left side, then we will again see a bulk edit where all the missing information is filled out. So we believe this is a great way of working with your master data, making sure this is available to your users in a very simple way. So either you can, of course, always correct this manually if you want to. You can ask your favorite assistant like Claude to help you out. It really is up to you. I believe it's very simple to create a user interface that makes your colleagues' life a lot easier and to write back to any other system. The user doesn't even have to know where the data is stored in the backend, whether that's your ERP or any other database. So you can create very simple workflows this way. I hope this was helpful for you. If you want to try it out, just reach out to us. We're very happy to show this to you for free on your own data, how you can set this up. Yeah, happy to help. So have a great day. Bye-bye.